Hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and today we're going to have a story about Coco Bean, our rescue. Now, I like to tell Coco Bean her story, and today you're going to see how I tell it to her. So, Coco Bean, do you remember being in the park and being all scared? And her was so hungry. Her was a hungry girl. Her hadn't had nothing to eat in over 24 hours. As a matter of fact, the park ranger said you had been there for about 2 days, and they were worried that you were going to be attacked and killed or run over by a car. And I passed by and I saw her. I had just gone to the grocery store, and I saw her running out in the street, and she would look at each and every car going by because she was looking for her people. Weren't you, Coco Bean? And those old mean people left Coco Bean in the park, and they abandoned her, which is not a good idea. You never do that, especially in a state park that is a refuge for wildlife. And we have coyotes and eagles and all kinds of birds of prey. We have black panthers in the area. We have cougars in the area, and fox, a number of animals that would attack and kill her and eat her. So we were so thankful that she had not been attacked. That was number one. But trying to get her was a chore because her was so scared. Her was a scared baby. And Coco would come to me within a few feet, but she wouldn't come close enough for me to feed her out of my hand. So I had a loaf of French bread in the car, and so I took the French bread out and I started trying to coax her to come closer. Well, she ate the whole loaf of French bread, y'all, and her was still hungry. So I lived just around the corner, so I ran home and got a kennel to put her in, and I grabbed some dog treats and some dog food, hoping to coax her. Well, when I came back to the park, one of the park rangers saw me out there trying to get her, and he came over to assist, and she had started burying the food that I was handing her, or giving, laying down for her, so she could have it for later because she hadn't ate in 2 days. He couldn't catch her, and I couldn't catch her, and then the secretary at the park, which is a friend of ours, came out, and she's done rescues for many years, and she says, loan me your sweater and I will catch her. So what she did is she took my sweater and she crawled on the ground towards her, threw the sweater over and grabbed her and came back with her. Now, Coco Bean was about 8 months old. We took her immediately to the vet to see if she had a chip. She did not have a chip, and we didn't know if she had her shots. She got all her shots, and she needed a bath, but we didn't do that until after we had brought her home. When I brought her home, I opened up the kennel, and she stayed in it for a while. She was scared to death, and she finally came out and stayed underneath our dining room table all day long. She would not come out. Roscoe tried to play with her, and she would not come out. So when my husband got home from work, I had called him and told him we had a new baby, a fur baby. And I said, she's real sweet, she's real quiet. She had not made a noise at all the entire time she had been with me, so I assumed that she wasn't going to be a loud dog. And he sat down on the floor, and she immediately came over to him and started loving on him. So we knew that she had belonged to a man or a male child or something to that effect. He named her Coco. When one of my grandsons came up, he added the bean to it, so her name is now Coco Bean. The vet told us that she was Jack Russell and Dotson. And she's got a beautiful mark on her chest. Let me hold her up. You see the little cross on her chest? It's really pretty. And the vet said that she had the stance of a Jack Russell, so he assumed that that was what it was, Jack Russell and Dotson, which is a very popular crossbreed, Jack Weenies, and they sell these dogs for a lot of money. Well, she had gone into heat right around the time that we picked her up, so she was about 8 months old. Once she was through with her heat, we took her to the vet and we had her fixed because we didn't want puppies. We didn't want to have to deal with the puppy issue because we already had a male dog, but the male dog was fixed also. But we didn't want to take any chances with her, and that's why we decided to get her fixed. So her came to live with us, and her learned to love Mommy. She found out that Mommy wasn't going to hurt her. Now she will put herself into timeout. She will go into a corner and cower when she thinks she's done something wrong. So we try not to be too loud with her. We do tell her no, but we also tell her she's a good girl. Is Coco being a good girl? Yes, her's a good girl. And she likes to chew on the hand, but she will not bite hard. And we knew that she had been taken care of because her toenails were taken care of. But she did have a bad odor, and we had to give her a bath because she really smelled bad. She'd been out there for 2 days, and she really smelled bad. Now, Coco came with issues. Most rescue dogs come with some sort of an issue. We believe that Coco Bean was sexually abused and maybe physically abused in other ways because she is very skittish. She is not peoply. She does not like people coming to the house, but we can take her out, and she's friendly with other people when we're outside of the house. She has her own personality. She's very rambunctious. She's a floppy girl. She likes to flop. She's a little bit rough on Roscoe. She's about 10 pounds heavier than Roscoe. So we have to be careful when they start roughhousing. She will lay back and let me do her nails. She loves to have belly rubs, and she loves to have the back of her neck rubbed. And her's so inquisitive. She likes to watch TV. If she sees something on the television, she will stop and watch. She loves to bark out at the window and go outside and play in the yard. You notice there's no collar on her. We do not put collars on our animals. We find that the collars do not work well with any of our dogs. We've never used collars per se with our dogs for a long, long time. We opted many years ago to go to a harness. A harness, you have better control over your animal, and they're not strangulating themselves. We don't use choke collars. We don't use any kind of leather collars on them. We use the harness, and the harness only goes on them when we're taking them out. They do get their shots yearly. She got all of her shots. She was fixed. She no longer is hungry. She knows that she is loved and she is safe. Now, she does have another issue where she gets excited and she pees. This is something to do with submission. And some breeds do this, other breeds do not. So we don't yell at her. We just go and we get the spray and the paper towels and we clean up her mess. She will come over and see what we're doing. But she knows she's done something wrong and she wants to cower. And we tell her, it's okay. Mommy's got this. Mommy's going to clean it up. So she's learning that. She's been with us for about 2 years. She's between 2 and 3 years. Well, she's about between 3 and 4 years of age. We celebrate her birthday in February on Valentine's Day. So that's her birthday. And you see she's falling asleep because Mommy's rubbing her belly. She will let me do her toenails. She's just a really good all-around dog. She does not like strangers coming to the door. She does not like people coming into the house. We have to separate her when other people come to the house. But other than that, she's done really well. We have done a lot of training with her, and we will continue to do training with her. And of course, she's got that little tip of a tongue that sticks out, and she's got floppy ears that don't lay right. You see her ears. But we love that quirky little personality. So if you've never adopted a pet, think about a rescue, but know that they come with their own set of issues because you don't know where they came from or what they've been through or what has traumatized them. But if you show them enough love, they will come around. I hope that y'all have learned something through this and that you will consider maybe taking in a rescue if you haven't already. May you be fully blessed.